To today's session. Really looking forward. Alan, hi. John, hi. Drop us a comment in the chat if you're here. Hope you've all had a good week. In fact, let me know on a scale of 1 to 10 how you're feeling on this beautiful Friday. It looks like it's going to be a scorcher. Actually, it's a Friday, so let's make the scale from a 0 to 10. I've got to admit, by this stage of the week, I'm often about a 4.8, so could do with some 10s to prop up my average. So let me know in the chat how you're feeling. Really looking forward to today's session. As always, we're going to be looking at how to increase the leads and sales that you're generating through your website. We've had a whole bunch of different sites submitted through email, and I'm going to be asking if you want to submit your site through the live chat as well, then you can just type the URL in the YouTube comments and we'll do a bit of a lucky dip thing. So what we're going to do, we've got 1 hour today. We're going to try and do 4 websites. So I'm going to do one that's been submitted through email, one that's been submitted through the YouTube comments, one that's been submitted through email, one through YouTube comments. So get your site submitted in the YouTube comments if you want us to have a look at it. Sparks is watching us from fishing. Oh, I'm kind of jealous. I don't know. Actually, I've never really seen the appeal in fishing, but I'd love to be outside rather than in this video studio. Anyway, yeah, so get submitting your site through the comments. Really looking forward to getting stuck in. We're going to be looking at how to increase conversions and also traffic. Those are really only the 2 elements that we ever have to play with digital marketing. So increasing the percentage of people that turn into customers after landing on your website and increasing the number of people that are going to your website. Those are the 2 levers that we always have to play with, and everything else is just variations of that. So that's exactly what we're going to be focusing on today. Now, you may have seen my email earlier in the week about inspiration and where you can take inspiration from. If you've ever come to one of our live seminars, you know, you'll see I put up a slide where there's like a grumpy guy and he's saying, but my business is different because. And this is the symbolic kind of thing that we have to fight against, this notion, yeah, but this would never apply to my business because we sell to businesses, or we sell to consumers, or we sell to pet lovers, or whatever. Or we're e-commerce, we're a service company. The value in a lot of the stuff that we look at is actually taking a lesson that's, something that's working really well in one space and applying it somewhere that it's never been applied before. So when we started Exposure Ninja, the first site I ever built was for my next door neighbor that was a plasterer. And I used a bunch of kind of principles in the building of that site, which we are still using on sites today. And we've used on sites in every imaginable market, because what we're always doing is we're always selling to people. So particularly in a space where, if you're in a market where lots of competitors all just kind of copy each other and everyone's sites kind of look the same and they're all using the same marketing channels, it can become a bit incestuous. Taking an idea from one of the sites that we're looking at today, even if it's in a completely different market to yours, especially if it's in a completely different market to yours, might be the thing that helps you get to the next level. So I'd encourage you to keep an open mind. As always, contribute. If you've got any ideas, if you've got any suggestions, drop them in the comments. I'll be trying to scan it. And we've got Dale, I think, on the Exposure Ninja chat. Dale, by the way, is an absolute beast. He could be easily running these sessions in his sleep. So if you've got any questions that I miss, hopefully Dale will be able to do it. I know he has this on while he's working. So yeah, absolute monster. We've got some beasts here. Oh, we got Georgia, Eastern Europe. We got sunny Bristol. I used to live in Bristol, in Clifton Village, beautiful part of the world. Overcast Somerset. Oh, right. Okay. Oh, we got some 10s, some 9.8s. Great. Let's get started. So I've got a few sites. I've got a couple of sites that I've lucky dipped from the emails. If you want me to review your site, stick it in the comments and we'll have a look at one of them after we've done these lucky/unlucky dip people. I'm calling it the lucky unlucky dip because, I mean, there's a certain type of person that likes having their website ripped to pieces in front of a group of people. And that type of person is my kind of person, which is lucky. Right, let's get this screen sharing then. I think next week I'm actually going to try and stream on Instagram Live at the same time through the computer. Oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Don't know, probably nothing. Right, here we go. So this is the first site that we're going to be looking at. This has been submitted by email. I'm really sorry. I don't know the name of the person. I don't know if they're here. If this is your site, then congrats. Shout us up in the comments. So we're going to assume we want to double the sales through this site. So in order to double the sales through this site, we can pull the conversion lever and get them more sales for the traffic that they're already getting. Or we can pull the traffic lever and get them more traffic. If we're really clever, we'll do both. So let's do this. Right, drybags.co.uk if you want to get the site up and have a look as we follow through. If you've got any comments, any feedback about any element of this site, if you can see anything that they're doing that they shouldn't be or anything that they're not doing which they should be, drop it in the comments. Your feedback, I mean, by this stage of the week, you're definitely as bright about this stuff as I am. So let's go. Okay. First thing we always ask when we land on a website, is it immediately obvious what this business does? It says dry bags, top quality dry bags for every adventure. Sounds pretty obvious to me. All products tried and tested. Okay, I would hope that was the case. 30-day free returns. Okay, so we've got 2 objections being handled there, and then we've got this nice little bit of text that says waterproof backpacks, duffels, phone cases, swimming bags, and pouches. We test them in action and review them so you can buy with confidence and keep your kit safe and dry. Okay, so I'd say that the text above the fold is pretty good. What we don't have is any credibility above the fold, so things like review stars and that type of thing. Then we've got this image, which I have to say, I'm not 100% convinced by the image, because to me, this looks a bit like it looks like an inflated tote bag. And I don't think that's the product that you're selling. Let's have a look and scroll down and see if we could see what type of image might actually work better here, or maybe even if a video would work better here. So as we scroll down, we can see some typical uses for these bags. Okay, so I think that's one on her back. I think that's someone swimming with the bag. And then I think it might be one on that boat as well. Right, now we've got some product images. Okay, so this is what they actually look like. Right, so these at the top look like they could be dry tubes. I would, for me, this is a business this is a product range, a product type that would work really well in video. You could make a video which showed people, swimming with the bags, kayaking with the bags, throwing the bags in water, just like chucking them around, everything being okay. And then, at the end, you show someone unzipping it and out comes their expensive camera gear or whatever, right? That would be, to me, more powerful than just the static image, because that immediately tells me what this is for, use cases, benefits, and the fact that you're even willing to put, your laptop and your camera and stuff, just stick them in there. That would be really compelling as a kind of sales tool, wouldn't it? It might be, and I don't know the audience 100%, but it might be a bit like one of those, when you get the super hardcore phone cases, and when you go on, you see the Instagram ad for them, and it's someone like standing at the top of a ladder throwing their brand new iPhone into the air, and it lands, and then they run down, they're like, yeah, it's safe, right? Something like that. Is there a demonstration, the killer demo, that would immediately sell this product and get people saying, right, I mean, that is my life, or my life is a little bit less hectic than that. This product would be great for me. And then, of course, you can use that in your ads as well. So that would be something I'd consider putting on the homepage if you've got something like that. Anyway, let's have a look and see what we've got here. Got a bit of credibility here, I think. Some of these brands I recognize, but I don't really know what the relationship is with each of these. Then we've got some products. Let's have a look at a product page. So this is your product page for the bike pannier. Okay. So I think it's, oh, here we go. Here's a video. Let's have a quick look at this video.
Hello and welcome to Dry Bags. I thought today we'd have a quick look at panniers inside the bag, and this helps keep its shape.
Okay, so
inside the bag,
the product demonstration is okay. The thing about it is I'm looking at the guy, not the bag. All right, so camera above, have the guy doing the thing. I don't need to see him at all. Just show me the bag, because that's the thing I'm really looking for here. I'm just going to flick through this because, yeah, I can't see the product. Okay, So it's okay, but at this stage, I don't really know enough about the product. These images are fine, but I really want to see. I want to replicate the experience of picking this thing up, unzipping it, seeing what's inside, seeing how much stuff can go in it. You know, show me the stuff that's not in it and then put it all in. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe all that stuff fitted in the bag. Show it like thrown in a puddle, drag through the mud, you know, whatever it is. Show an extreme use case to let me know this thing is the absolute dogs. And it's amazing because at the moment, I don't feel like I'm involved enough in the product. I feel like I'd be taking a massive gamble. And you'll get people that are happy to take a massive gamble, but the conversion rate for this will go through the roof if you can convince them they don't have to take a massive gamble, because this is absolute beast. Okay, I'm just going to stop and have a look and see what we got for the comments here. Outdoor enthusiasts, love to see it work. Videos would be amazing to see how durable they are. I always prefer video demos when buying outdoor gear. Yes, indeed. Great. Yeah, so I think demonstrations is the key here. And anything, if you're trying to sell like a new brand or you're trying to sell something that people aren't familiar with, the more you can offset that fear, because there's always a risk, right? You're asking me to buy a dry bags thing over... Or is this a brand? I don't know. Maybe this isn't a product that you make. I'm not sure. Maybe this is Overboard is the brand. I'm not too sure. But you might be asking me to buy something I'm not particularly familiar with. So we need to just alleviate that risk. And the model to use, think of an infomercial, right? I don't know about you, but every time I go to America, I love putting on the home shopping channels and just watching the infomercials, because those guys can freaking sell. It's awesome to see. There's a film called Joy, which is one of my favorite films because it's got the entrepreneurial story and it's about infomercials, so absolute heaven. But check out some of the classic infomercials from from history. They're all on YouTube. But yeah, that's how to demonstrate a product and how to get it selling. If if you're bored, then go on the, I don't know what the UK equivalent is, QVC or Home Shopping Network, if they have that in the UK, I'm not too sure. But go and check out some infomercials to see what a great product demonstration looks like. Yes, it's a bit cheesy, so just make it cool, right? The guy's outdoors, but he's talking in the same way and he's doing the demonstrations exactly the same. So that would also allow you to start running ads on Instagram, particularly because those video demos are something that you could advertise to people who are outdoor lovers, which they're going to be relatively easy to find. So I would be extremely surprised if some video demonstrations didn't significantly increase the conversion rate of this site, and I would expect them to be able to double it. Let's have a look at, we know that Instagram ads would be a good thing to do. Let's have a look at some organic search and see where we're at with that. So I'm just going to open SEMRUSH, which is around here somewhere, and I'll drag it over so you can see it. What we're going to look at here is how we could be driving more traffic through search. Okay, so at the moment we've got very, very little traffic through search at all in the US. What about the UK? Yeah, not much at all either. Right, we're running some paid ads. That's good. Let's have a look at those then. And then we'll talk about some ways to get some visibility for... Okay, so we're running ads for dry bag, waterproof backpack. Okay, bike panniers. Okay. So I want to know, are these your products? No, they're not your products. You're a seller. Okay, fine. So they're someone else's products. So that does mean that it's unlikely you're going to be able to outbid significantly some of your competitors. Does look like you're cheaper, so that's good. So Google Shopping ads is a good thing to do if people are looking for the particular brands. Okay, so what phrases are we advertising for? Let's have a look at bike panniers. That seems like it'd be a pretty competitive phrase, and potentially your CPCs could be fairly chunky for this. So I'd want to know that this is definitely... Right. Okay. So we're running Google Shopping ads for bike panniers, which is a great thing to do. Definitely, I would suggest doing it. But obviously, this puts your conversion rate in the spotlight even more, because I don't want to be spending a penny more on traffic that's not converting than I have to. So if we have a look at some of these competitor products, So let's have a look at things that might be a similar type of thing. So that looks like a waterproof one now. It's 117 quid, so it's not actually the same market, but these are similar-ish solutions. So let's have a look at how these are sold and see what we think about this. So remember that the key thing we're looking for is we're looking to remove risk at this stage and show people exactly what they're getting. I've still got no idea what this thing looks like inside. So for me, this is it's an impossible conversion. There's no way I'm going to convert. They're expecting me to buy just from looking at it on the outside. Like, what is this? What person goes into a shop, sees a bag on a thing, doesn't even open it and goes, yeah, that's the one for me. So why is it going to be any different on the internet? Jeez. Right. This is a joke. Let's see if this site's doing it any better. Okay, so they're showing me up front with the zips. Still got no idea what's inside. What is this? Are they having a laugh? Right. So we need to think about how people actually buy things. And people don't buy things like this. People don't look at a tiny low resolution image and go, yep, sounds good to me. Let's buy it. That's not how this thing works. So go much, much harder on this. Has anybody got an example of an e-commerce site where they think does a really good job of product demonstration? It'd be really, really good to have a look. Let's have a look. Oh, Boiler Boffin, good to see you. Lots of people swimming. Yeah, freaking awesome that would be, wouldn't it? Yeah, great. Okay, good stuff. Right, we're going to move on from this because I think it's pretty straightforward. I could smash into this all day, but we know the deal now. Demonstrations are going to be key for this. So let's set a high standard, invest in some good quality photography and videography. You can do it on your phone, let's be honest. Let's just get some lights. Get a big fat light like this, looking overhead, someone opening the thing, having a look and talking about what they're seeing. So simple. Right. Great. So next one we're going to do is actually one that's been submitted on the chat. So please, someone have submitted their site through the chat. Otherwise, it ain't going to be one. Okay. See what we got here. So Sparks B. Okay. I've got to read out this. Just to let you know, one of the things that energizes me most in the entire world is getting amazing testimonials for Exposure Ninja. It's the thing that drives me more than anything in the world. I'm not particularly financially motivated. It's knowing that we make a difference for people. And Sparks B, who I think is Mr. Crapper, we just built a site for him. And he gave me this review. I actually saved it on my phone because I was like, frickin' hell. What can I say about... I just want to read this to you because this is... What can I say about Exposure Ninja? I've followed them for years. I've just started a new company. I approached Exposure Ninja to build my website as they were the only company I wanted to build my site. From day dot, the experience from the team was 10 out of 10. Stacey looked at my requirements and I was handed over to Emily, who was a pleasure to deal with. I had a vision of what I wanted and Exposure Ninja went above my expectations. The website that's being built for my company is fantastic. I'm so happy with the site. I still cannot believe it is my website. I will never leave Exposure Ninja. I want them to look after everything. We don't do childcare. I recommend to anyone who wants a website built, go to Exposure Ninja. You will never be disappointed. Thank you to everyone at Exposure Ninja for building my website and making my company better. I am so happy. Dude, gotta say, left me a little emotion, that did. Really appreciate it. Anyway, so if you want to make me happy, leave a testimonial like that and I will be extremely happy for a very long time. Great. So have we got any sites submitted that we can have a look for? That we can have a look at? Oh, we got dry bags on the line. Fantastic. Right, well, let's have a look at Mr. Crapper then. We're gonna rip apart this site. So it's been live, what? I don't know. Not very long. Not very long at all. An EN build. Stakes are high. Okay. So obviously a local plumbing site now. Predominantly mobile traffic. We're expecting to something like this. So a little unfair to judge it on. In fact, we could judge it on mobile. Let's just resize this bad boy. Stick it a bit smaller there. So first thing I'd have a look at. What we might want to do. Get some location information here. Which areas do you serve? Yep, that'd be pretty good. So we got this. We provide professional drainage and plumbing service to customers administered in London and Hertfordshire area. Okay, pretty good. I might want to know exactly where you're based because London and Hertfordshire is a pretty wide area. We've got a bit of text introducing here, services we offer, find out more about our services, request a callback. We've got sticky calls to action that follow us down the page. Got some benefits here. We've got dual readership paths. We've got a nice clear headline and then the description if you want to read more about that. We've got some testimonials for credibility as well. Okay, not too bad at all. Maybe a map on this homepage. Let's have a look at some of these sub pages because these are actually going to be the ones that are ranking. So let's have a look at the emergency plumbing page. Okay, we're using stock photography, but it looks legit. It's not the smiling American dude with his bright, shiny spanner, right? Okay, emergency plumbing. Oh, we've got location above the fold there. Okay, fine. Right, so I think it's time to look at traffic for this. So emergency plumbing in particular across all of London and Hertfordshire is going to be extremely competitive. Extremely competitive. Kate, I don't think it can be seen. I don't know if people are... Oh, maybe it's filtering. It might be filtering URLs. If you're commenting URLs and it's filtering them. Oh. Okay. Right, just put in... Yeah, oh, damn it. That doesn't work, does it? Right, fine. Let's talk about traffic for this. So emergency plumbing, extremely competitive because when you're looking for an emergency plumber, right, you're not in research phase. I'm just going to check out an emergency plumber just in case I then have an emergency leak and I need to call someone. So I'm just going to do a bit of research. I don't really need anyone, right? It's like a locksmith sale. When you need an emergency plumber, you need a freaking emergency plumber right now. So that means the traffic is extremely high commercial intent. So let's have a look for emergency plumber London and see what the ads are looking like. And then we're going to have a look at CPCs as well. Now, I'm obviously going to be seeing some Nottingham type stuff here because I'm in Nottingham, so people are going to be getting confused. Google's going to be confused. Everyone's going to be a little bit confused, but we should see some London stuff here. Right, we've got some of these pretty decent ads. That's a Leicester number, so that's not even... Oh, God, it's all a washout. Let's have a look in SEMRUSH. SEMRUSH will save us. Where's SEMRUSH gone? SEMRUSH will save us if it's still alive. So let's have a look under emergency plumber London. We're just going to have a look and see what sort of costs we'd be looking at for some Google ads here. Thanks, SEMRUSH. Okay, so CPCs around... So CPC is how much you'd pay per click if you wanted to advertise for this term. So £8.35 per click. In other words, you get 10 people on your site, you've just spent 80 quid or £83.50. So this is a scary phrase to advertise for. The thing I would do if I were you, Mr. Crapper, is have emergency plumber, but within a 2-mile radius of where you're at. So something like emergency plumber London wouldn't be my first goal for advertising. I'd be looking for something much tighter. So whereabouts are you in London? Whereabouts are you? You're in WC2H, and we're just going to see now in Google Ads you can set a radius, so I would go pretty tight radius. So with Covent Garden, okay. Where am I going? Too many windows. Let's have a look. Covent Garden. And then we're going to look at some key principles that you might want to include in your ads. Okay, great. So this is giving us lower search volume as we would expect, which is fine. Don't be put off by a keyword that SEMRUSH says has no visibility. The first client I ever worked for, we changed his life with a website that said, even Google said, there's no search volume for this term. So don't worry too much about that. You're much better to dominate for a phrase that you know is right, that's completely relevant, even if it says there's low volume. And you don't need a million jobs, do you? A couple of calls a day for emergency plumber type phrases would be great. So let's have a look and see what we get for emergency plumber Covent Garden. Now, I'd imagine for very specific terms like this, you're probably going to be going up against some national companies which are just looking at lead generation. Let's just spend a bit of money for them all right now. Now, some of these aren't going to have any personality at all because they've got sites for a million different areas, and actually they're just a lead generation company and it's not anything. So the other thing I would think about for you is getting more of your personality onto the site, because that's the thing that you're going to sell against these people. Okay, pretty reasonable, decent looking site, so not too bad at all. Don't have much about Covent Garden here other than this. This is probably a generic page that's just set up for different locations, so not particularly amazing. It's not terrible either. Click book now. Okay, so requesting a callback, fine, and then we've got the phone number here as well. Okay, so it's absolutely fine. It's not doing anything wrong. We've got accreditations, we've got Trustpilot reviews, so there's a bit of credibility, which at the moment you don't have on the site. So, but I know it's a new business, so you're not going to have it. So fine, this looks reasonable. Definitely not devastatingly shit. Right, what have we got here? Rightio Plumbers. Okay, so this is actually a Nottingham type site, but we'll still take the lesson. So what have we got here? We've got review stars again on reviews and Trustpilot. Good credibility. We've got some objections being handled here. Not a particularly great looking site. We've got accreditations, also might be important, particularly gas safe, because people are taught to look for that. It feels quite messy and a little bit scary. It's quite overwhelming. Okay, we've got our locations, we've got a map as well. Fine. This guy, he might not even be the person who's going to turn up, but the fact that there's an image of someone, pretty good. So I'd think about maybe adding a picture of you as well at some point to build a bit of credibility. This is... okay. So this is clearly a much larger company. Now, some people like a much larger company, but sometimes, like we had our boiler break when we just had Luca. So he was very young and the boiler had just broken. And I'm like, Kate set me a task to find an emergency plumber. I've got to find someone who's really good. In that case, I wanted personality. I didn't want to go for someone who's like totally generic and I was going to get a call center. I wanted like a mobile number or someone that I could, someone that I could say, hey, how soon till you're here, mate? That type of thing. So that would be a massive vote for you. And instantly the guy I went for had a terrible website and I tried to sell him a website when he got here, but that's another story. So I think that kind of personality angle, that's what you've got. So that's what you should be selling. So that would be my main recommendation there. And then Google Ads when you're ready to go hard, but keep your focus on quite a narrow area because you could easily spend a whole lot of money doing a whole lot of nothing. Okay, great. So we've done one site through email, one site through chat. We're going to do another site through email now, and then we'll do one site through chat, and we'll see if we might even be able to get some more done as well. Let's have a go. Great. We've got some people who are doing some amendments to their site. Right, we're going to have a look at Alan's site, Puzzle Magazines. This is the Great British Puzzle Company. So this is another EN build. And hence the stakes are high again. So Alan, give us a bit of a background if you can, if you're on the chat. Who's your target audience? I think we're selling to these people through Facebook ads, aren't we? So I think, tell me if I'm getting this right. What happens is we advertise to people and we give them a free puzzle magazine trial. So they sign up and they spend an amount of money for the postage, and then they get a puzzle magazine, and then they go through it, and then they can enter prizes and win competitions, and they can upgrade to get, by getting the free trial, they then lock into an upgrade thing, which is a subscription over time. So Alan does these beautiful puzzle magazines. They're really good quality. The puzzles are amazing. And people absolutely love them. People freak out over them. His audience are ridiculously sticky because the quality is so good. So this is not like the shiny thing with the picture of Debbie McGee on that you get at the counter in Asda, right? This is a magazine for people that absolutely love puzzles. I think that's it. So let me know if I've got that right, Alan. So the goal of this site, I don't think it's necessarily to convert cold traffic. It may be. So they've got about 7,500 prospects, which are going to be getting an email sequence starting Tuesday. Okay, great. So we're going to be driving them to this site, are we, Alan? So these are people that I think have had a free trial at some point, and we want to convert them into being a paying subscriber for the Great British Puzzle Company. By the way, the name, absolutely wonderful. Love it. For that target audience, spot on. Okay, great. So the things that we've got to do on this site are we've got to convince people that this is going to be a great thing to do, start the free trial and that type of thing as well. Okay, so we've got these benefit statements here, delivered free to your door by Royal Mail. I love that. There's a certain audience that see Royal Mail, and that is a great thing for them. So I love that. It's those little touches that show that you really understand your audience. Always printed on high quality paper. Lots to be won with our cash prize puzzles. Okay, the best puzzle books money can buy. And then we've got these images of the puzzle books with their different types here. And then we've got some testimonials. Okay, first thing with the testimonials. We've got these little avatar people. Now, I know that these people probably haven't sent in their pictures. It will be amazing, and I don't know the mechanics of how it works, but it would be amazing to get a photo of an actual person holding their puzzle magazine, even if it's just a really, basic, terrible photo. What we want to do is show that these are in the hands of the great British public. Okay, so if we can get puzzle magazines, it might be from the free trial. It might be that we incentivize people somehow if they send a photo of them in with their magazine. But, a bit like, I think we might have seen it on dry bags. You get those sites where at the bottom of the site, there's like tiles from social, right? And it's, Instagram posts or whatever, and it's there to build credibility. You see this on a lot of influencer type products like weight loss teas and that type of thing. They will embed images of people who have taken the photo of the product, and the only reason they're doing that is for credibility and social proof, right? They're just trying to show you loads of people have had these. Now, I know that probably loads of people haven't had these yet, so this might be something to add once you've got those images. But if we can give people overwhelming proof that lots of people have had these magazines and they absolutely love them, then it feels real. So it removes the perceived risk, it increases the credibility, and it increases social proof as well. So I'd look for some images that's just going to make it feel a bit more real. Now, I also know you, Alan, and I know that you're a fantastic kind of figurehead for the business. So I would potentially be interested in seeing a bit of what we do. Hi, my name's Alan, and I run the Great British Puzzle Company or something like that. So I don't know if that's something that you want to do. But I think having a bit more of you on the site certainly wouldn't hurt, because that is what your business has that all these other generic ones doesn't have, is that you're actually proud to stand by this and say, look, this is all about me. Okay, you can create your own book as well, which is pretty cool, right? So let's go through one of the puzzle magazines. Let's go for the cash and prize puzzles, which I guess is probably going to be one of your most popular ones. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're trying to get people to activate their subscription right away. I think we need to sell this a little bit more. I might want to see some demo puzzles from this magazine. Now, if we're just trying to drive people to start your free trial, and then once they've had the free trial, they come to the site to activate, it's going to be an easier sell to make. But if we're trying to sell this to cold traffic, selling a subscription on a website isn't easy. It's definitely doable, but it's not easy. So we need to work pretty hard to be able to do this. So what I'd like to see is some demos of the puzzles. I'd like to see maybe a lead magnet, something like, the equivalent of that database that you've got now, get your free demo edition or something like that. Just so I can satisfy myself that this magazine is right for me. You might also, I know you've got some fantastic information about winners and the amount of stuff that you give away and the cash and the prizes and stuff like that. So maybe you might want to share some of those stats, like in an average magazine, we will give away blah, 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 so they can actually get a sense of, what's in it for them. I just think these pages, over time, you'll want to build them out. You'll want to include more information. You want to include some testimonials and case studies specifically to them. I think we talked previously about, the big check going up to the front door with someone, oh, you've won the thing, that type of thing. it's a bit like the dry bags feedback. We need to make this an absolute no-brainer for people. So this product page is a sales page for this magazine. That's really the way I would go with this. There's tons of potential with this though. And I know your audience is very sticky in their subscriptions. They tend to subscribe for many years. So I wouldn't be worried about going pretty negative on the first sale, knowing that you're going to get them back. Knowing that you're going to get that money back as well. So yeah, I'd go harder on these product pages if I were you. Decent layout, great that you've got some text. This is probably something that you're going to add to over time, but within a year, this page might be 10-page scrolls long. Right, we might include demo puzzles, we might include case studies from people, we might include information about prizes, we might include like a leaderboard with how much people have won over the last year, that type of thing. I think you can't go too hard on these pages. The other thing I would consider doing is switching the layout. I'd have a look at the data once you've sent people over, but you might want to switch the layout of this. If you're driving cold traffic, because asking for the conversion too early without giving them the information might not be optimal. It depends on the audience. Now, you've been working with Holly on this. Okay. Yeah, I'd go a bit heavier with that. Okay. And also potentially, I don't know, whether it'd be worth just going just adding that straight to the checkout immediately. That's good how we go straight to the checkout and it doesn't just put it in the basket and wait. And then we've got the 1 month free trial. Okay, so I'd actually pitch that 1 month free trial as the thing. Okay, start puzzling. 1 month free trial, £1, then £28.80 if you don't cancel or whatever. So I'd maybe change the positioning of that so that we're pitching the 1 month free trial, because that's much lower commitment, so you don't have to work as hard to sell that. Cool, but good stuff. Looking forward to driving some traffic to this and seeing how it does. I think this is a great way to build that business. So love it. Right, have we got any other examples? Because I know that people have their URLs haven't been. Yeah, Dolma says, do you offer any free puzzles to try? Yeah, great. They do. And I think some come through email, do they, Alan? I'm not sure, but that could be a really easy email lead capture. Fill in your email to get 3 example puzzles or 3 puzzles from our last issue or something like that. Great way of capturing people if they're not ready to buy, and then allowing them to qualify themselves. And then obviously the email follow-up will then pitch them. Okay, great. Let's have a look at the saltiest dog. This is the .au one. Let's have a look. The saltiest. I'm a little bit scared about what I'm going to find. Is this actual dogs? Is this raw dog foods and treats delivered in Melbourne? Right, nice. Let's have a look at this. So Kate, you're up. If you're in Australia, I don't know what time it is now, but it might be really late. Yes, Alan. Sorry, Kate. Alan has a Friday email every week with a free puzzle. Could be worth having that as a pop-up that appears on the site after a certain period of time. Might be something to consider. There are loads of ideas. The key is going to be to test. Obviously, the people that you're going to be driving the offer through this week, they're already on your email list, so they don't really need that. But that might be something when you're driving cold traffic. Okay, right. The saltiest dog. Kate, let's have a look at this. So subscribe to our weekly-ish newsletter and get 20% discount on your first order. Weekly-ish. Now, if this was Exposure Ninja, I would never write that because it makes it sound a little bit not amateur, but a little bit chilled, right? However, for this business, I actually think a combination of that picture and the weekly-ish immediately gives you personality, and I immediately love it. So I don't know what you other guys think. Friday night with a wine in hand, love it. I think that's brilliant. And that personality, I hope that personality comes through the rest of the site, because I actually think that's really endearing and it shows, it's immediately disarming. Love the fact that you're offering the 20% discount on your first order. Really good idea. If you've seen the Hut Group reverse engineering. They're so big on this, like immediate pop-up, offering the discount to get you on the email list, particularly for a business like yours, because I'd imagine that a subscriber, once they're a buyer, I'm guessing that they'd be pretty valuable. So anything that you can do to get them in the first time is a win. And before they purchase, if they're going to be an email subscriber, that's a great thing to do. So yeah, love that. You might even want to give first order free or something like that, or offer a free treat with your first order. Like, it depends how much you're willing to pay for a customer, but the more you can pay for the customer, the more we're going to get. So yeah, that looks pretty cool. Okay, the finest raw food for your most cherished doggos. Okay, the personality is working. Delivered to your door or ready to collect when you are. Made with love locally in small batches and shops. Okay, cool. All right. This isn't the slickest website design in the world, but again, that's disarming. It's good enough to look professional, but it's not so good that it looks like, IAMs have just tried to appear local. Do you know what I mean? There's like a farm shop vibe to it, which I think is good. What's your conversion rate, Kate? Do you know your conversion rate for this site? Be interested to know what you've got here. So how many people are buying on average from a visit? Okay, so some benefits of a raw diet. Okay, so the question I'd have for you here is, do your customers know about raw diet and the benefits? If they do, we don't necessarily need to sell them on the benefits of a raw diet. We need to sell them on the benefits of you. Okay, if they don't know the benefits of a raw diet, then fine, let's talk about the benefits of a raw diet. But we need to make sure that we're selling them on the things that they don't yet know. So it might be that we could switch them out for, why use saltiest dog, or why dogs love saltiest dog. That's the other thing to go for. Even if you as a human don't understand why you want this, your dog will definitely know, and they'll be much happier and they'll thank you for it. So that's the other angle to play. Okay. I mean, this looks gross, but I'm imagining if I'm a dog, I'll be freaking all over this. I know we got some vegans on the line, so this is, I don't even want to know what's in those hearts, but I'm imagining it's probably heart. Cool. Okay. I mean, yeah. Okay. Yeah, looks good. I wonder if you could be quite fun with this. I think I'd imagine if you were, you could go absolutely all out with personality. When I click on that chicken breast, I see like a dog like slobbering beyond belief. And I click on the roux liver and I see like a dog just going absolutely mental for something. And, you could play on the fact that this is the dog, this is the food that your dog wants you to buy them. I think that might be quite fun. We're going to have a look at product pages in a minute. To be honest, I like how long this page is. This shows that you actually care. Yeah, cool. Right, let's have a look at some of these products then. Okay. We're splitting a $3 payment, which I think in Australia is like £1.50, £1.50 in the UK. We're splitting that into 4 payments. I mean, that is some payment split. Absolutely, that is. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So we can buy a single and we can add it to cart, or we can buy 2-pack, 4-pack. Can we subscribe? I want to know if your target audience, if they want to choose, or do they want to buy a bundle, and do I just want the bundle to turn up every week? So how many dogs have you got? How heavy are they? How heavy should they be? And how often do you want it? Right? So it's like it's like a calculator type thing, right? Let us find the perfect food for your dog. So you could even have like a drop down. My dog's long head. Great. If you've got a long head dog, you want blah, blah, blah. You want the roux liver because it's got all the omega-3s, which is going to make you whatever, right? So you've got a few stages of this. You've got, what's your dog? How heavy are they? Do they have health goals? So do they want to get fatter or stay the same, or do they want to get leaner? How often do you want it? And then there's like a bundle, and you just click subscribe. I'd be tempted to go for a subscription play, because then that means that you don't have to make any follow-up sales. So yeah, I'd love to see that, and that could be your main call to action. I don't know what you do if you sell one to people and then you kind of, you go back afterwards. Let's have a look at this. They could also get the meal subscription. I subscribe to a meal subscription for me. If someone could come and feed the cats for me, that'd be great. I mean, all of this looks utterly gross. Utterly, utterly gross. I can't believe that what is that? A moo tube? Love this. What are they? Are they cow gullets? Wow. Okay. So, yeah, I think Dolma said there, go to mutt mix under eat, then meat minces mixes. Right. All right, here we go. Kitty mix. Have we got mutt meat? Custom orders, regular orders. Okay, I'd make a bigger thing of this. I don't even... What? I don't understand this. Okay, so I don't understand this and it doesn't seem to work. But, yeah, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. So, yeah, okay. I think Dolma said, is there a before and after of dogs switching from a commercial to this raw food diet? I think that's a really good idea. We also want reviews, but... what I really want to know is my dog going to absolutely freaking inhale this stuff? So could we show a dog smashing each of these meals on the page? And then, it'd be quite a comedy thing, wouldn't it? Like, here's Barney and here's the Rhueberry, and we're going to get his feedback once he's had it, right? Release Barney. There we go. That's a freebie. And then Barney, what did he think? And he's like, right? Oh, he gets 3 pants, right? I'd be a bit playful with this. I'd be fun with this. I think this is really cool. Yeah, it looks cool. It looks cool. So then advertising, right? Once you've got a site where you're like, people go onto this and they convert, like it's a freaking amazing conversion machine, then it's time to run some Instagram ads, because your audience is going to be so easy to find. It's location radius. It's, you can't really do income levels anymore, but it's, you want to target people that are the right sort of income level and that have it, there's going to be particular interest targets which are relatively, straightforward for this audience. So that feels like an absolute no-brainer. Whether you've got enough search volume for things like dog food delivered Melbourne, I'm not sure. But I think Instagram ads, this is a sort of interruption purchase that people would make if they're that type of if they're that type of customer. So loads of potential with this. Yeah, miserable dog with dry food, excited dog with your food. Yeah, if you can find a dog that rejects dry food, that is the goal, isn't it? If you've got a fussy dog, he's fussy for a reason. He's not fussy because he's stupid. He's actually fussy because he's clever, because he knows the crap that's going into the commercial dog food. Did you know, for example, that half of this commercial dog food is maltodextrin? Here's what maltodextrin does to your dog. Did you know that this has a shelf life of 6 years? Why does it have a shelf life of 6 years? Because actually it's about 6 years since any animal product actually went near this. And by the way, what does chicken meal actually mean? Well, it means ground bones. Let's freaking sell against the crap out there, because it is crap, isn't it? Let's be honest. Most people's pets are being fed absolute garbage. Here's something that's genuine. That actually looks like a fish. Shockingly, it looks exactly like a fish. So I think we could be a bit more aggressive with that. Cool. Okay, great. Let's see what else we've got here. Raw dog food has approx 22,200 searches a month in the UK, says Dale. Whoosh. Loving that. It's a trachea. Ooh. Cool. Okay, let's have a look at some others then. So we've done 2 sites via email. Let's do 2 sites. We've got time for one more. Let's do one more here. Anybody got a site that they want to submit through the old line? chaseandwonder.com. Let's have a look. I can't believe we're cracking through these. Normally I'm like, we get 3 sites done and I'm 20 minutes over. Okay, Chase and Wonder, proudly made in Britain. Let me know in the chat, what do you think? Fragrances never look so good. Explore a range of luxury, illustrated, reed diffusers and candles, proudly made in Britain. Okay, like that concept. candles and weed diffusers, really difficult market to go on, so competitive because it's so profitable and everyone knows this. And now you've got people like, you've got shops like Asda selling what appear to be beautiful candles. So it's very difficult to sell. So we've got to think about how we can be different, and certainly illustration is one way of doing it. I have not seen that before. Would you like 10% off your order and then sign up for the Wonder Club? What do I get as part of the Wonder Club? Maybe something to do. But I like the fact that we put the email in and then it says reveal my code. Love that. Love that. I have not seen that before. That's really cool. That's much better than subscribe or sign up or something like that. Reveal my code is like, yeah, that's tantalizing. Let's just do it. You're cheeky. Not sure that's GDPR compliant, but hey. Oh, dude. I don't think it works. Oh, it does work. There we go. It didn't feel like it worked. Okay, cool. I love that. Really smart. Great. And it's important to give them the voucher code right there and then because we want them to purchase while they're on this visit. If we say your voucher code has been emailed to you, what we're actually saying is you can't purchase from this site until you go and check your emails. Well, the trouble is once I check my emails, stuff's going to happen. Boom. And I might not come back. So I love that. Okay. Let's see what we got here then. Let's scroll down this homepage. So we got a bit of personality here. That's cool. Love that. Above the fold, I don't actually have a really clear idea of what it is that you sell. So I think we've got some different types of things. So what's the headline? If someone comes up to you in the street and says, no one ever does this, but if someone did come up to you in the street and said, hey, what does Jason Wonder sell? How do you describe it in a sentence? That's what we need above the fold here, just so we kind of set people's expectations. Okay, pretty good looking site though. We got some featured products here, so I'd maybe move that up a little bit. I'm not convinced by this section. I think your story is great, but I don't know why I would. It's a little bit confusing, and I don't yet know the product, so I don't feel like I'm ready to make any of these choices yet. So I feel like we need to just anchor people in exactly what you do first. Right, let's have a look at some of these. Let's go for... We've got decent numbers of reviews on these, though, so this is good. This is good. Right, let's have a look at the Flower Lady ceramic candle. 48 quid. We are not messing around. This is a candle for 48 quid. I will not show my wife this website. Okay, we see how it's packaged, which is great because this is a gift purchase and the packaging is super important and the packaging looks sick. So congratulations on that. Reusable ceramic vessel. Interesting. I'd maybe highlight that even more with like a little tick box like vessel or, pot reusable or whatever you call it. Vessel, I guess. Great. I don't actually know how big it is. 90-hour burn time. Whew. Monster. Okay, so the other thing, I don't know how much of a thing this is if there's going to be a price objection on 48 quid, could you compare it to your bog standard candle and be like, well, this is the fair economy one. Oh, this is good. Yeah, sorry, I missed the product features. This is the fair economy, right? This is how Fairy sold washing up liquid for double the price of Tesco because they're like, well, it lasts twice as long. So is there a play like that? Could you actually make this an economically sensible purchase? I'm desperate to find a way of making candles economically sensible because my wife gets through so many of them. The only thing I've got so far is to buy a candle company. But that feels like throwing good money after bad, to be honest. So I don't know. Anyway, right, let's have a look. What have we got here with some of these reviews? I'd probably want to order the reviews in terms of quality because some of these are rubbish. Like Janet, just fabulous. Great. Can you give me a little bit more, Janet? Come on. These are great reviews. And the fact they're from around the world is awesome. Awesome. How are you driving traffic to this, buddy? Let us know how you're driving traffic. Let's drive some traffic. See how we're driving traffic to this. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. I'm not sure there's actually a huge amount I would do differently to this. If you wanted to take it to the next level, you might start video. But this is... Oh, mate, you're even showing how they're made. Are you doing this for every product? I love this. Oh, whoa, I love this. I love this. Oh, this is sick. Okay, this is really good. So this is this is how much effort you can go to sell a product. I love that. So the only thing I'd suggest is that it's actually quite difficult to find this stuff. You don't notice it's there because the reviews are there. And Amazon has kind of conditioned us that the reviews tend to happen at the bottom of the page. So what I would potentially do would be to have some kind of review widget, then the information, and then further reviews. Or if there's another way of doing it, so we got 2 columns on the page, I just think about, this info is great, but I'd imagine if you look at the heat mapping, people wouldn't be getting to it, and I'd want people to see this a bit more. I think you're doing some really good stuff here. This is how you sell a 50 quid candle. Yeah, this is good. This is good. I like this. Okay. Let us know how you're driving traffic, and let us know what your conversion rate is on these as well. Bit of Google Ads says... Okay, great. Bit of Google Ads. Good stuff. That's the great thing about selling a decent price product with some decent margin, is you can afford to run sort of Google Ads. What sort of phrases would you be driving traffic through Google Ads and Facebook as well? Yeah. Yeah, this looks good. Cool. Let's have a look at some advertising. Actually, before we do, I want to have a look at your cards. Now, yeah, this is cool. There's something about card businesses that just obsesses me. Like, in a world of digital, people are still sending loads of cards and spending loads of money on cards. That is just amazing, isn't it? It just doesn't seem to be something that's going to die out. So what a space to be in. What a space to be in. You've got such a unique look as well. Actually, I look at these and I'm like, that looks like a Chase and Wonder card, which is cool. Are these all original designs? Let's have a look. Okay, 1 review, 3 stars, or maybe might need to increase that. Actually, not that expensive, is it? That's pretty standard price for a card, isn't it? I don't know. Okay, yeah, but pretty good. Maybe you tell a bit of story about the cards and how they're designed and that type of stuff as well. But yeah, this is pretty good, pretty good. So let's have a look at traffic generation. We're going to see if we can find any of the ads. If we're running them on, if we're running text ads, we'll be able to see the ads themselves. If we're not, then we will be able to have a look at the product searches that you're looking at. Okay, so we're getting a bit of organic traffic. Getting some branded search, which is decent. Let's have a look at the phrases that you're ranking for. Candle that smells like library. Well, damn, that's a niche one. Love it. Okay, so right, I don't know if you've done any influencer. I'd be all over influencer with this. If you've got influencers that have a history of posting about candles, that have a history of posting this kind of quirky stuff, this kind of steampunk aesthetic, there's loads of people that are into this. So I'd find some influencers that you really like the look of, send them some product, and what you want to do is you want to specify what you want to get out of that. So, hey, we'd love to send you some products. It'd be great if you could run a review, that type of thing. And of course, there's exactly the sort of stuff that Exposure Ninja does, so we can help you out with this as well. That would be cool. If we can increase branded search, obviously that's the sort of traffic that's not going to cost you anything. So I think that would be quite a good way to go. With the candles, you can run some ads, but it's going to be such competitive space for SEO. Might be tricky. Let's have a look and see what your ads are looking like, and then we're going to do some wrapping up. I just get repeatedly lost in SEMRUSH. I absolutely love SEMRUSH. It's the main tool that we use, but my gosh, I just get so confused by the layout. Please provide a valid domain yourself. Right, here we go. Okay, let's have a look in UK. Here we go again. Okay, it doesn't look like we've got that much going on now, so don't know whether this is shopping. Flower lung, luxury lung matches. Okay. So driving ads for Selfridges candles, luxury matches, butterfly mug. Okay. So some of these look a little broad, and I'd be a little... yeah. If you get an ROI on Google Shopping, fantastic. I'd be a little bit concerned that some of these look to be a little broad. New home greeting card, for example. But I don't know what else you would target. You ideally want to target people that have a particular stylistic preference, don't you? Which I think is why that kind of influencer thing could work really well, because you'll be able to find influencers that have, you know, an aesthetic which is very similar to yours, so you know their audience is going to be very dialed in for that. My concern is there's going to be a fair amount of wastage here, but as long as you're generating ROI, then that's fantastic. Yeah, okay, so pretty good. So that'd be my main recommendation there. I think your product pages are great. I think the site looks really good. Time to drive traffic and test some different traffic generation strategies. Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. I hope you've enjoyed this. We'll be back again next week, next Friday, same time, same place. So subscribe to the Exposure Ninja YouTube channel if you haven't already, and I really look forward to seeing you there. If you need a review of your website and your digital marketing, and we haven't had time to get to it today, then go to exposureninja.com and click that big button for the free review. We'll have a look at your site, your digital marketing, and we'll give you some feedback on how to generate more traffic and sales through your site. It's a freaking ridiculous service. Ask any of the people in this chat that have already had it. Otherwise, have a fantastic weekend. Stay safe. Keep out of the sun. And let's hope England can turn around this test match against Pakistan, because it is not going well.